What is a has a relation? What is a has a relation, guys?
One class has a reference to an instance of another class.
One class has a reference of another class. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. So what is the use of this? So why we need to have a has a relation?
Code reusability.
Okay. So we can achieve the code reusability by using easy relation like inheritance. So why should we go with? I mean, when we'll go with has a relation? Okay. So let's talk about the continuation of the inheritance only. So there is something called method overriding. Method overriding. So anyone has the idea what is a method overriding? Method overriding.
When uh, child uses parents class as well as its own method, some of the methods.
Its own method, then where is the override came?
So it is using the parents method plus
Okay.
its own properties. So it will have both parent property plus some of the properties which it has, the child has.
Okay. Let's assume that there is a parent class which has a behavior. It means there is a method is available in the parent class. The same method is writing by our child. Same method, not the different method. Same method. If your child is using the same method in a child class, he is implementing his own body. That is called overriding. That is called overriding. Let's say there is a class called bank. There is a class called bank. In this I have some method called public int. Let's say I have a class called public. I have something called int get interest. Get interest. I'm getting the interest, rate of interest. Okay, get interest. And I have some body here. So he's returning some value. Return 5 or 6, whatever it is. Now, the child classes. Let's come to child class. There is a bank called class class S bank extends. If you're doing extend means you are extending the parent class behavior or implementation. Bank extend bank. Now he has his own properties and all those things. Along with them, he is also writing a method public int get interest, and he's returning instead of 5, let's say he's returning 9. This is called overriding. This is called overriding. A parent class has a method or a behavior the same behavior is going to override by a child. Override by a child is nothing but overriding, not the other methods. A child may have a different, along with this get interest, he may have a different anything else. He may have some more. He may have some more. But whatever the methods is parent is provided, the same methods are overriding or the implementing by our child is nothing but overriding. What is the purpose of the overriding? Why should I override? So if you see here, so get interest is a common name or common behavior for each and every bank. Get rate of interest, right? We cannot change the name of it. I mean, we don't want to change the name of it. It's the appropriate name for that behavior. So, but the behavior is different for the different child. If I go now, I say bank here. He may say that I will return 8. I go with SBI bank. He may say something else. If I go with, any other bank, Karnataka bank or Vijaya bank, whatever the bank you take. So they may say that their own implementation. So when your child is implementing the same behavior which has by parent, that is called overriding. The purpose of it, suppose if anyone want to make use of the parent class, they can make use of it, or if anyone wants to override it, they can provide their own implementation. They can provide their own implementation. And here we have seen method overloading. That is one type of polymorphism. Overloading is one type of polymorphism that is called static polymorphism or compile time polymorphism. This is dynamic polymorphism or runtime polymorphism. Method overriding is dynamic or runtime polymorphism. Are you guys able to understand what is the overriding? Are you guys able to follow, guys?
Yes,
Let's
sir.
let's see a simple example for the same. Let me open my Eclipse. Let me open Eclipse. Let's go back to where we have written our classes. Yeah, this is the one. Let's move here. Inside inheritance only, it is method overriding demo. Method overriding demo. Class, you can take up method overriding demo. You can have a public and say finish. You can take anything, guys. You can take any, not only bank or employee student. You can take anything. So let's look at here. I'm taking class bank, which can have a name and all those things you can take. But I'm taking very simple example. Public int get rate of interest or get interest. Get interest. I have to return here. You can print out whatever you want. Okay, you can say I am from bank class. Okay, then you have to return rate of interest. So we want to return 5, we return 5. Okay, rate of interest. Now there is a child class. Class S bank extends bank. S bank extends bank, and he want to write his own class. I mean, he want to write his own method. He can have its deposit, withdraw account, open account, and all those things. He can have its own, but what happened this? Okay, this is close bracket. So he can have his own implementation. He can have his own implementation, but he's providing a body for an existing method in the parent class. He will say 10 percentage. He will say 10 percentage. Let me have one more class which says Citibank. It says Citibank. It says Citibank. He will say no, I will give only 9 percentage. I'll say I'll give 9 percentage. Let me make it bigger. What these are all? This is a parent class which has a get interest. All child class are these are all overriding. You can denote with them at the rate override notation. You can denote with at the rate override notation. So it's not mandatory. You can do it. It's not mandatory. You can go with it's called annotation. Not to worry if you didn't understand, not a problem. It's just an intimation, nothing else. It's just an intimation. Now, in the main method, if I go and create a child for S Bank and Citibank, S Bank YB equal to new S Bank YB dot get interest YB dot get interest. So it is a getter. It's going to return some value. So I want to print them. So I'm going to print them here. Rate of interest. Rate of interest. Rate of interest in S Bank. In S Bank. Can say equal. Go here. Close this. You can create one more with the Citibank. Guys, everyone, please practice. Okay, whether you until and do hands-on, it will be very difficult. The concept looks similar, but while you are someone asks you to write, you will fail to write. So please practice. Citibank. So now if I compile it, so Citibank will give me a different rate of interest, and my S Bank will give me different rate of interest. So it is launching. Let's look at the output. What it is showing? I am from S Bank. Okay, I am from bank class because we didn't change these things. We didn't change these things because it's a copy paste. Because of the copy paste. Now look at, I am from S Bank. The rate of interest S Bank is 10. I am from Citibank. The rate of interest in Citibank is this. Understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt here? So what is the rules to overload? What are the rules for the overload? Then I'll come to override. Rules for method overriding. What are they? Rules for method overriding. Who will say? Monica? Monica? What are
Yes,
the
sir.
rules for method overloading?
For overriding, no, sir.
Overloading.
So overloading, the method name should be same,
Mhm.
but the return type should be different.
Is
We
it
can have
mandatory?
multiple method.
Okay. Go,
Sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
We can have multiple method with same name,
Mhm.
but the return type should be different.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah, this is mandatory that return type should be different.
Return type should be different.
Yeah, for this overloading.
Overloading. Okay. Let me show you an example and you can correct yourself whether the statement is correct or not.
Okay.
Look at here. Sorry, where is that? Look at here. I have something called add method. I have another add method. Is the return type is same? Or it means the
Yeah.
return type is not same. So you also selling that return type should not be same, right? So let's say I have the same method here. Let me take out this from here. I can keep it at the place. So now here my return type is not same. I mean return type is same, not different. So in this case, it's not a valid override. This two is not a valid override. Overload.
It's valid only
Then you have said
because
return type should be different, no?
yeah, but the data type this here we are using double.
Oh, that is a parameter. Okay. Re
Okay.
Return type no
Parameter
matter.
should be different.
Yeah, return type no matter whether you can have a same return type or different return type. Return type is no matter. That's a little correction on your statement. Okay. So method name should be same. Return type can be same or different. And the access specifier,
Parameter.
access modifiers are same or different, no matter. But the parameter list or parameter type or sequence of the parameter has to be different. Has to
Okay,
be
sorry sir, I got confused
okay.
actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
the same way we have something called method overriding. So what is the method overriding? Rules for the method overriding. You know the method overloading. The method overloading we will write within the class, right? Within the same class. We will not write outside the class. We will write within the same class. All the method overloading we will write within the same class, right? Coming to method overriding, method overriding we will write outside the classes, means different classes. We will write in different classes. Means parent-child relation should be there. Parent-child relation should be there. There should be a parent. That guy should have a method. The same method has to override in the child class. That's the rule number one. Rule number two, the, the return type of the parent and the return type of the child can be same or different. The different, when it is different, I'll tell you. That's called covariant return type. I'll tell you that. But whatever the parameters I have in the parent class, the same parameter should be there in the child class. Method name anyway it will same. Method name it will be anyway same. If it is a method name is different, it is not override. It is something its own method. Method name should be same. Method name should be same. Parameters also should be same. If the parameters are different, if the parameters are different, that will treat it as a their own different method. Okay. And coming to access modifier, access specifier or access specifier, if it is a public, it has to be a public. It means public is the widen access. Public is the widen access. If it is a private, anyway, you cannot do override. If it is a private, your parent method is a private, you cannot override. Okay, because that's a parent class behavior, right? So let's look at here only. It's a private, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. Okay. So if it is a protected, yes. If it is a protected, you can have a protected or a public. If you remove this, what is happening? You cannot do that. If it is a protected, it cannot be a default or private. If it is a protected, your child class cannot have a, guys, these are the rules we need to remember. If first rule, if a parent is a public, it has to be a public, nothing else. This is a public. Your parent should have public only. You cannot have anything else. Okay. Second one, your parent is protected. Your parent is protected. You can have a public or protected. You can have a public or protected. If your parent class method is a protected, the child class can have a protected or public. Okay. Rule number 2 that was. Rule number 3, let's say this is default. This is default. The parent is default. Your child can have a protected, it can have a default, or it can have a public. It can have a public. If your parent is private, your parent is private, anyway you cannot access that. You cannot access that. I mean, it will keep says that you cannot access it. It's actually treated as a different method. Okay, if it's a parent is private. See, the idea is behind here. The idea behind here is if your parent has some restrictions in the child class, you can widen the restrictions. You can give more access. You can provide the more access. You can provide the more access. To understand that, we need to understand what is the access specifiers. The very high restriction is private. Let me write here. More restrictions are private. Next is default. Next is protected. Next is public. Anyway, we'll talk separately this one. We have a separate class for this. Okay. This is more restricted. This is compared to private little widen. Protected a little widen. This is more widen. It means the the wideness comes like this. The restriction will go like this. The restriction will go like this. The more widen comes down, the restriction goes up. So if your parent has some restriction, you can widen the space, but you cannot restrict the space. You cannot restrict the space. If it is a public, your parent is public, you cannot restrict. You cannot restrict. But if parent is default or protected or something, you can widen the space. You can widen the accessibility. That's the rule. Okay. Understand, guys? Rules of the method overriding. Rules of the method overriding. Any doubts? First one, first one. There should be a parent-child relation. Second one, the method in the parent and child in the method should be same, and the number of parameters should be same. Third one, coming to access specifiers, if parent have some restriction, it should have a same restriction or widen than that, or more widen than that. These are the three rules for method overriding. And the fourth one is method the method should not be a static method. If it is a static method, if it is a static method, it will not override. Static methods cannot override. Can anyone tell me why static methods cannot override? Because we understood about the static. So can someone tell me why static methods cannot override? Kishore, Anisha, Masood, Monica, Raghu, anyone. Aparna, Sachin, Asai, Nikesh or Vaishnavi. Why the static methods cannot override?
Is it because they cannot be instantiated?
No, static classes can be instantiated. Oh no, why it cannot be instantiated? A little correction. The static methods, static variables are not object wise. Those are class level. Those are class level. Those are not instance level, those are class level. That's why the static methods are not accessible. Anyway, we will talk more about the static class. So not regarding the static, we have a different class for the static, how the static will work and what other things will be accessed from the static. We will see them. Those are called access modifiers. We will talk about them. Clear, guys? Any doubts? Any doubts? Sachin or others? Aparna, Sachin, Sai, Nikesh. Yeah, Masood. Okay, so let's move next topic, abstraction. So if you guys have any doubt, please let me know. So we'll discuss on that. Otherwise, we'll move to next topic. Is everyone clear about it?
Yes.
Okay. Let's move to abstraction. Abstraction. Can anyone tell me what is abstraction? Can anyone tell me what is abstraction?
Hiding implementation details.
Okay, very good. Hiding implementation details and provide the functionality. Hiding the implementation details and provide the functionality. So, so what is abstraction is nothing but hiding the implementation details and provide the only functionality. Very simple example, guys. We all know how to ride a bike, or we all know how to, most of them know how to drive a car, right? Let's say when we're driving a bike or riding a bike or driving a car, we know that how to apply a brake, how to apply, how to increase accelerator, how to control it. We know them, but we never know that when you apply the brake, what is happening internally, how the brake is getting applied, how the the movement is controlling, how your engine is getting controlled. And when you start your engine, your ignition, whatever you call, it is getting started, how it is getting started, how your petrol is converting into power. So do we know the things how they are? We don't know. But we know the functionality, how to make use of it. We know it, how to make use of it. That is called abstraction. Hide the implementation details and provide only the functionality to the client, the end user. That is called that is called abstraction. Very simple thing. We are all using a mobile and we all have so many things like we're getting call, how the call is getting, how your signals, your voice waves are converting into digital, how the analog, how the it is your whatever whatever you are talking, how it is reaching to a tower, from there how it is going to other party. When you're sending an SMS, how it is going internally, right? These are all the functionality, the implemented details we don't know, but we know how to use them. That is called abstraction. Abstraction means we will hide all the implementation details. We will give only the functionality. We will give only the functionality. Okay, so how we will achieve that? How we will achieve that in Java? We will achieve the abstraction in Java by using classes as well as method. Classes as well as method. So very simple, guys. It's a pretty simple one. If you declare abstract is a keyword in front of the class, that class is abstract class. That class is a abstract class. Before getting into more detail, let's try to understand what is the abstract class as well as what is abstract method. Let's try to understand what is abstract class and what is abstract method. Nothing, the abstract classes are as similar as the normal classes, no difference in it. We'll also write the same way. Let me write a normal class first. Class abstract demo. So as similar as you'll write the same as normal classes, but you will add abstract keyword before your class. Before your class, you will add abstract keyword before your class. So if you declare a class with a abstract keyword, that class is abstract class. The very first important thing is the class cannot be instantiated. That abstract class cannot be instantiated. Not be instantiated. What is instantiated? You cannot create object. You cannot create object. You cannot create object for this abstract demo because it is abstract class. Because it is a abstract class. What else I can do? Yes, you can do with the classes anything whatever you want as similar as a normal class, except you cannot create an object for it. So you were telling that I can do whatever I want, but you were telling that I cannot create object. If I didn't create an object, what is the use of it? So if I write methods, if I declare some variables, if I want to do some functionality, if I want to do some business, I should have an object. If I don't have an object, what is the use of it? Right? So abstraction is like an idea. To tell you to make you understanding simply, abstraction is something like an idea where the idea has to implement by someone. The idea has to implement by someone. You might have seen, so in your college days while you are submitting a projects, you might have submitted abstract as a paper. What is it abstract, guys? It is just an idea. It will not be having any implementation. It will not be having any source code. I mean the project code or what. It is just an idea. This is the problem, I'm going to solve it this way. This is the problem, I'm going to solve this in this way. But actual project what you are going to implement, and that's the implementation. Your abstraction is different and your implementation is different. For each abstract class, you should have an implemented class. If you don't have an implemented class, there is no use of abstraction. There is no use of your abstract classes. Okay, that is abstract class. Coming to understand abstract method. What is abstract method? This is also as similar as your normal classes. You need to specify abstract keyword in front of the method, but here you cannot provide a body. No body for it. Just a declaration. No body for it. Abstract return type of, I mean your access specifier like public whatever it is, and your return type and the method name and closed bracket and semicolon. If you see, it does not have a body. For the normal method, let me write the same method in the normal way, like public. If you want to take public int or void whatever the data type, you say subtraction, and you will have a body. You will not have a semicolon here. If you have a semicolon, that is like abstract. Should you have abstract keyword in front of the method? It means that method is abstract method. So this abstract method someone has to provide body for this abstract method. Otherwise, no use of it. Otherwise, no use of it. Are you guys able to follow? Any confusion? Any doubt? Are you guys able to follow? Are you guys able to follow?
Yes.
Anisha, Kishore, Masood, Monica, Raghu, others? Sachin, Sai, Venkatesh, Vaishnavi.
Yes, Veera.
If you want to achieve in Java, there are two ways to achieve abstraction. Let me tell you that. There are two ways to achieve abstraction in Java. One is through abstract classes. One is through abstract classes. Abstract class means you should have abstract method there. Otherwise, it's not mandatory, but you should have abstract method. Then only it's meaningful. You're declaring abstract class. You know you don't have any abstract methods in it. No meaning for it, right? It means if you are having abstract class, you should. It means it's good to have one or more abstract methods in it. Otherwise, no use of it to making an abstract. If you're making an abstract means you are keeping some declaration of the abstract methods which needs to be implemented by the child class. But if you are not providing any abstract methods in that, there is no point to keep the class as abstract class. So it's better to keep as a normal class. So other one is through interface. Through interface. We'll talk on interface very soon. Through interfaces. So abstract classes are, you may have a 0% abstraction or 100% abstraction in your abstract classes, but interface is always 100% interaction, 100% abstraction. Your interfaces are always 100% abstraction. What is this, Ravi? You're telling that abstract class has 0 to 100%. That's why I told you before, your abstract class can have abstract methods or may not have, or may not have. But your interface should have abstract methods. Whatever the method you declare, by default they're abstract. You cannot provide anything else. Let's look at a simple example, then we'll continue tomorrow. Okay, how the abstract and what are the things, what is abstract method, how they work and all. Look here, I have written abstract class which is a bike, and I have written abstract method which is a run. Abstract class bike, and there is a method called abstract running or run. So I'm writing my own bike name like a passion bike, extend the bike, because this is abstract class. If no one is provide the body for this, no use of it. Someone has to provide implementation. Someone has to provide a body for it. So your passion bike extends a bike, and whatever the abstract methods are there, this is important thing, guys. Let's try to remember. I'm going to do one thing so to make you very much clear. If you, as soon as you write extending your abstract class, it will force you to override abstract methods from the parent class. See here, this is abstract class and it has one abstract method which is called run method, right? And as soon as you extended the bike class, it is forcing you to implement unimplemented methods. Add unimplemented method. What is that? Look at now. It is already given to you. I just want to copy this. That's why I'm pasting here. Don't worry. I'm just remove this. I just want to take the print statement. That's the only reason. Look at here. It is forcing you to implement abstract methods. It's force you to override your abstract methods. It force you to do override abstract. If you don't want to provide a body for this method here, you have to declare this class also abstract. This class also has to be abstract. If you don't want to provide a implementation for abstract methods in a child class, if you don't want to provide implementation for abstract methods in a child class, your child class must be or has to be abstract class. Else you have to provide a body. Or if you don't want to provide a body, your class 2 has to become abstract. Is this clear, guys? What is the use, how to use them and all we'll discuss tomorrow. So if you guys have any doubt, please Please go ahead and ask me. So you can call your child class, you can create object for your child class, and you can call your parent, your run method. As soon as you call run method, this will get call of your child class running. The fashion bike is running. Not only fashion bike, you can how many classes you declare, those many classes has to provide a body for your abstract method. They have to provide those has to provide body for them. They have to provide body for them. So I can create one more object like this for the pulsar. So you can do that. You can provide body for that. So now see here, if we compile this, how many methods are implemented? Both will be initiated. Executed. Clear idea about abstraction. We'll talk more about abstraction tomorrow. So it's just an introduction for abstraction. Do you guys understand abstraction? What is abstraction? It's just an idea which cannot, or it is where you are hiding the implementation details and providing only the functionality of it. That's the definition of the abstraction. The way we implement it, there are two ways. One is by using abstract classes, and other one is by using interfaces. And the abstract methods are mainly used for the behaviors. Any doubt about abstraction? Any doubt? Any doubts, guys?